Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo from 2009. And this movie stars Numi Rapace, and it's the, I guess, original adaptation of this story. There might have been one before this, and the only other version of this movie that I've seen is the David Fincher one from 2011. And I quite enjoyed this movie, and I did have it in mind while watching this one, and there were a lot of similarities in the first half, and then once we get into the second half or towards the end, that's where it kind of starts to have some differences, like notable differences for me at least. And I didn't feel as though those changes were things that necessarily made it bad, but I will say that I did enjoy this movie, and the things that it was doing were not bad at all, but compared to the 2011 film, from memory, just I enjoyed that one a bit more, and I'll get into why shortly. I thought this movie had some good music in it, despite it not always being used properly, but I do feel as though it was good enough on its own, and it looked nice overall. I didn't feel as though the movie was poorly shot consistently, and I liked Numi Rapace in this movie a lot as Elizabeth. I thought she did a great job, and I enjoyed the story in this film, even if I knew where things were going, and I wasn't super surprised by a lot of things, but still enjoyable for what it was. There's not really too much that can surprise you if you're familiar with the story, so I'm willing to forgive it a bit more for that. And the movie did get better for me as it went along, and when it was the main two characters working together, I do feel as though that's when this movie was more enjoyable for me, and that's where things were a bit more interesting, because in the first half I would say that despite it being good, I couldn't help but to think of the 2011 film and just remember how things were presented in that film. And despite not seeing it in a few years, there are things that have stuck with me for a while, and I just loved the overall general presentation of that movie, and I do feel as though David Fincher brought a lot to that story and to how things were presented in that one. Whereas in this one, it felt good, it just not great, and it just felt like there was something missing for me. And I just wish this movie was in the hands of someone that I really loved, instead of yeah, that was good. And there are some choices in this movie that I didn't really care for, like there are flashbacks in this movie that I can do without, and there were sex scenes in this movie, as there are in the 2011 film, but in this movie, I just found them to be mostly ineffective and just, okay, that happened, and I don't really care about it happening. And there were parts of this movie that made me think, wow, I really wish I was watching the 2011 film, because the way information was presented was just so much more effective. And I can't say specifically which parts because I don't want to spoil anything, but presentation does mean a lot to me. And there were also some slow parts in this movie that made me feel as though, okay, I just wish that things were moving along a little bit faster, or just had something else for me to keep me chewing and keep me interested the whole time. And there were also some editing choices that I didn't particularly care for, and I can just do without. And overall, this is a good movie, and I do think it's worth watching, and it's free to watch on Amazon Prime. So if you are looking to watch it, there's a way to do so. And I didn't feel as though I wasted my time watching this movie, but will I be watching it again? In terms of like, will I watch this one over the 2011 film if I have the choice? Probably not, but I didn't regret watching it. It's just, I couldn't help but have the 2011 film in mind. And I'm not sure if I would rate this movie higher or lower if I had never seen the 2011 film. Because that one is just this movie, but done better, in my opinion. And I'm just more attached to what it has to offer. So check this one out. It's good, just not as great as what I've seen. So with all that being said, I'm going to give The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo from 2009 a 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below you thought of The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, and let me know which one you like better, the 2009 film or the 2011 film. Because I have my preference, or at least from memory. I might change my rating if I were to rewatch it, but still, I don't really see myself preferring this one over the 2011 film, but we'll see what happens when I rewatch it. And my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Rumor Has It. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.